video.
Great. So we're going to try to do this painting, this picture of Farmington Pond as a watercolor painting. First thing I'm going to try to do is put in the clouds. So I'm going to grab, I think I want this. Yeah, we're going to use a little bit of this blue. I'm using my paint pen to try to get, I'm adding a little bit of this dark blue too. Let's see, that's kind of a nice gray blue. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I don't want to put that on quite yet, even though I've mixed it. So I'm going to get rid of the paint in my brush like this. So I first want to do some wet on wet. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just kind of add some paint where...
Water.
That's, yes, water. Thank you, Marlene. Where the sky kind of is. And I'm kind of drawing my mountain line right here with my water. And I don't have my paper taped down, so this is going to get a little bit wonky, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to start putting it in here. I'm kind of doing the lighter bits here first. I need a little more paint. I'm going to squeeze my brush because I need a little more water too. Oh, you're not showing that part.
Oh.
It's okay. And I'm working against how quickly this water is going to dry. Now I'm going to add, squeezing my brush again. Now I'm going to try to put in some darker. And I'm actually going to add just a little bit of this dark red. You kind of see in our painting, our picture, there's kind of some purple undertones to that cloud. Add them in there. That's too much purple. That's okay. And I'm going to squeeze my brush because I want some more water so that'll mix nicely. Add more of this dark up here. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. Now I'm going to kind of pick up some more of this light for it to blend. Yeah, I'm liking that. And this already started to fade a little bit, or dry. That water already started to dry. So again, when you're doing watercolor, you're really just trying to work with the water as much as you are the color. All right, so now that's looking like it's not blending quite as much as I would like. I'm gonna help it blend. I'm gonna add some little dark bits. See, there's that dark bit here up in the clouds. I'm gonna add a little bit there. More water. This is a new paper for me. I haven't used this kind of paper before, so all papers kind of hold the water. All right, so I'll let that dry. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of paint on my brush because I'm gonna do the pond next. And so when you're looking at the pond, it's actually not very blue, right? Mm-hmm. It's got lots of...
It's more like reflecting like that area.
And so the lightest part is probably right here, right? But to make it easier on myself, I am going to take just for a second, and I'm going to use some of this, I'm going to add some brown to it, because I want to make just a bit of a line for myself to outline the line of the mountain and make sure this is dark enough. Oop, it's not dark enough. I need more paint and less water. I'm going to come over here and try to get something darker. And I'm going to be really careful not to squeeze my brush because I want a dark line. There we go. That looks like that's probably going to be, yes. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try to sort of trace my mountain line. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And it's not perfect, as you can tell. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to kind of trace. I've got all these trees in the picture. I'm not going to draw those in yet, but I am going to kind of just draw my shoreline. Oopsie. And I want to show a little bit more of the trail than the pond, so I came over this way. I'm also working on a square paper, and this, my reference photo, it's a rectangle. So, all right, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to add a little bit more water and some green And you see how dark it is right here in this painting?
Yeah, it's because right there is dark.
And I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna add. I want to see how much pigment I have. Oh, yeah, that's about right. I'm gonna add into this pond a little bit. Start painting that in.
Maybe do a bit circle-ish, cause circle.
Yeah, and as I'm looking at those details, I'm noticing there's some darker trees and some lighter reflection in there.
Look, it's darker over here.
Now, ponds are really hard to do. They're not an easy thing to do. So, if you're not super happy with your painting, guess what? Ponds are hard to do. So, that's okay. I will probably not be very happy with my painting either.
I'll be happy with it.
Oh, thanks, kiddo. So now I'm doing dry. You see how I didn't put down any...
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure I made the right choice on that, but I was watching someone who did it this way, and it worked really well. It might not work this well for me because she had really nice paints, and my paints aren't as good. I need a little bit more dark. I want a little more light green. Kind of try, and I'm gonna add a little more water here. We need some blue. Don't you think, Marlena?
Yeah, but Mom.
What?
If you see, like, right there, there's, like, little lines, and it's, like, a line there, but then there's, like, no line there, kind of.
Yeah. Can you show how I'm mixing over here? I want the kids to see that, because that's super important, to see how you grab a little paint, and then you mix it on your palette. Good. All right, we're going to come back in. I'm going to start adding kind of this. Oh, I like that color. That kind of really helps, don't you think?
And you're going to want, like, a little bit of orange, because on the mountain, it's kind of orange, because it's fall.
Yeah. Can you back up just a titchy bit? Okay, so now I want this to blend a little bit more, so I just I squoze my paint pen, and I added a bunch of water to my pond here.
Ooh, that's really pretty.
Okay, and this is gonna, because this is lighter as far as the color on the pond. And so remember, more water makes it more light. And it needs to be a little bit more blended as well. So, water helps us blend better.
When you're doing
Where it was darker, I wanted it to be a little bit, oops, I'm gonna have too much pigment on my brush. There we go. Okay, now Marilena said we got to add that little bit of orange. I'm a little scared to do it, but we're gonna do it. Right, Marilena?
Maybe like mix the orange with like a brownish, like a bluish color.
Yeah, we can try. So it's not quite so stark.
Yeah.
Yep. See, I picked up a little bit of that blue. All right, let's add that in. I'm nervous, and I'm not pinching my brush right now. We need more orange, because there's already plenty of water right there. There we go. And I'm dabbing a little bit. I'm hoping that will blend. We'll see. We'll see. One of the reasons, and I'm, showing you a bad example, one of the reasons we like to have a flat paper is because if it's flat, it's going to blend better. If you looked at this from the side a little bit, you can see, maybe you can't see, it's kind of bubbling here. The paper's kind of bubbling, and that's going to keep it from blending. So maybe if I push my paper down a little bit like
or if you add some water.
Oh, there we go. See, can you guys kind of see? Maybe I'll just put my finger under it. All right, let's see if that will blend a little bit. And I feel like I need more than just one shade. Ooh. Oh, that yellow is pretty. That might have been too much, though. Dang it. Okay. Sometimes when you put down too much color, something you can do is you can take a clean napkin and you can kind of just pull some color out. It's going to pull the water out, too. See how that's kind of lightening it? Maybe you can't quite tell.
Ooh, that's pretty.
That's looking better. All right, I'm going to clear my brush again. I'm going to add just a little bit more orange on top. There we go. Can you see how the orange is starting to kind of blend there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay.
But Mom, when you're doing like the mountains over here, they're more like stiff. And they're less like blending. So maybe like don't do it wet on wet.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try not wet on wet for that part.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. All right. That might be a little too much yellow, but oh well, we're going to go with it. I am going to add a little bit more water from my brush. to see if I can get that blue to blend into here a little bit more.
Because you're making water on, because you're drawing water and you're using
Water.
water.
So hard. Okay, so now we're gonna do our mountain. What colors do you see in the mountain? Pull it up there so we can see.
Orange, brown, green, like a brownish beigeish color.
Good. All right, so see what I'm mixing here. So I took some of this, it's called an ochre color right here, and a little bit of our blue that we've already used and mixed them together. See how that's kind of makes like a nice grayish brownish color? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to just start adding that in, and I'm going to go,
Wait,
what?
you need to leave a little space for there.
Oh, I'll come back in with that.
Okay.
Okay. And I want kind of more water than I did for my line, right? Uh-oh, did you see how I accidentally went up too high?
It's okay, nobody will notice.
Well, you can kind of soften lines that way. I put down that hard line with my brush earlier. And it depends on how good your watercolor is and how good your paper is. But that's something you can do. Okay, I think that's probably enough of that. But I want to reuse that color in this part of the path too. You see that? Okay. I'm just going to lay down some color really quick. Oh, that's kind of nice.
And then there's also like little grass growing.
There is. And we'll add that last. Another thing when we do watercolors, we think a lot about order of what we paint. Okay. So I'm kind of adding background color. Ooh, that's an interesting color. It's a little greener than I wanted. We're adding some background color first. And then we will add more details.
Yeah, because the background is like more wet on wet.
Yeah.
And then like over here, do you see those like tiny little bushes? That is more like not wet on wet.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, I think we're ready for our oranges and our yellows. So I'm going to use those same colors that I did on that pond.
But less blue.
Less blue. No, hardly any blue. We'll just kind of use this brownie color that we have. Okay. All right, here we go. So it kind of, and the stroke I'm going to use, I'm going to just kind of dot it here. Oh, I don't love that, but that's okay. We'll come back in and do a couple different. So I'm just kind of dotting the mountain colors.
Because like over here, there's
Yeah, okay. Watch my dotting, would you? Try to hold it super still for people. Okay, and you can see when there was still more water, how it just bled those colors really quickly, which is fine. Sometimes that's what you want. Put a little more dotting here, here. And now I'm going to pick up a little bit more yellow. And I come back in with yellow. And if I need to test on my napkin how thick my paint is, that's what I did right there. Okay, I like that. I think that'll work.
Ooh, that makes it like kind of blend a bit more. Like how these are actually.
All right, I think I'm just going to go for it. Make it a lot more blended. And then I'll come back in after it dries with some more darker bits. I think I like that idea. That yellow does not like to be as bright as I want it to be.
Because it's not a bright yellow.
It was before.
Oh,
I'm like, whoa, that's so bright. Okay, I think I could add some red to that, but I'm going to wait. And I'm going to come back in and pull some green because we need to add some of those other trees. Okay. Can you show the palette what I'm doing?
Sorry.
So I took some of this. Oh, you're fine. Some of this dark green, some of this yellow. All right, what do you think? Is that about right? Okay, so now we're going to come in. I'm going to check how much paint I have on my brush. Yep, I like that. I'm going to start dotting the hillside with these other mountains. It's a little too green, but we can come back in and add more brown. And they kind of come in. If you notice on the painting, or on the picture, the green kind of mixes with the orange. Higher up bits. There's a bunch of green.
Just like, can I show them something on the picture?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, there's like some like green dots like up there. I don't know if you guys, like, it doesn't really show, but there's like some green dots up there.
Okay. All right, so I got some darker green. I'm coming back in with darker green. A little more thick paint, so less water, more paint. So this is just starting to add some of that lovely color. Okay, I think I'm ready to start putting my trays on. What do you think, Marlena? Kind of this line.
What?
This line of trays.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna do that. Okay, so I'm add a little bit of blue to that green.
A bluey green.
Yeah. And I want kind of something pretty dark. I can get it. Okay, here we go.
Do you know I actually said a bluey green? As in like
greeny blue.
bluey.
Bluey. All right, here we go. We're gonna start painting in this faraway trees. And in some places, it's gonna be not a lot of difference in color. In other places, it's gonna have more variation. So we're just kind of making. Oh, that was exposed too much water. Dang it.
Oh yeah, it went past the line. And there's like a lighter blue. I mean, a lighter one like over there.
Yep. So I made a little. I kind of stopped. Ooh, I like that.
Like right there.
I kind of stopped what I was doing. And if you can kind of tell, the trees just kind of go straight this way. So we're gonna just. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right. So putting these in. Add a little darker to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to add some dark to the bottom later, but right now I want to start lightening it up because I'm going to add some of these other tree colors.
Yeah.
All right, I tried to do that without rinsing my brush, and it's too muddy. See how that's not very yellow? And that's okay. I'll add some here using that before I clean my brush again. All right, time to clean my brush. So I'm going to squeeze out. If I was outside and didn't have a cup of water, so I'm just squeezing my brush. Okay, so now we're going to add some yellow. Oh, it's okay. All right. Go ahead and pause it.
Okay.
All right, we're back. So while I was on the phone and I was still painting, but what I did was a lot of times darker, more vibrant colors are going to help the brain see things as closer. The more faded away the color, the more your brain is going to think it is farther away. Okay, so when you look at this painting, before, when I had this lighter, it made it feel farther away, and so now adding that darker color helps it feel closer, which is what we want because it's actually closer in the painting. That can be kind of hard when you're doing things like fall leaves, because fall leaves are really vibrant, and so on that mountain, it's kind of a hard thing to figure exactly how to do it. Okay, so we're running out of time, and so we're just going to really quickly, even though I could fuss with this forever and have lots of fun with it, I'm going to start adding some of the fine details. So I'm going to get a really thick yellowy green over here. Oh, there's too much green. There we go. More green. All right, I like that. And this is going to be for some of these little grasses here. And hopefully it's dry enough that I can do that. That's the other thing. You have to be really patient with watercolor. You can't put color down when it's not time for color. Okay. I'm actually going to put more there because there's kind of that road. I kind of like that. Good. And I'm going to come in here and add some lighter bits too to those trees that were starting to change color. That look nice. Kind of have that backdrop. And I'm going to add even just a little bit to here on top of this darker green. Kind of show that they're starting to change color as well. If I had a little more time, I would probably try to darken up some of the shadows in these trees here. Yeah, it's not going to be quite what I want. A little more blue. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. One over here too, because that tree was darker. And it's not going to blend now because there's no more water, so I have to decide Oh, the water's all dried out. But I can kind of do that. Alright, let's add a little bit of here. Now the other thing is often on the shoreline it's going to be darker too, so I'm going to kind of come back into that dark line that I drew and kind of come up like this. I'm just kind of doing like a little half circle or S-y shape with my brush as I dot it in there. What do you think, Marilyn? Is that shoreline looking good?
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm happy with that.
What about the mountain?
Now we gotta add more to the mountain. The mountain's not ready to be done yet. Okay, so actually I think I want some of that dark color for the mountain too. Just a teeny tiny bit. So we're just gonna kind of dot it up here. Yep, like that. A little bit more over here. There's a bunch. There's kind of this really dark bluey area.
Bluey.
Bluey. I used too much water. It's not the effect I wanted, but that's okay. Okay, and I'm gonna really have to be done here very, very soon. So I'm just going to clean my brush and add a little bit more detail of yellow and red to our lovely fall colors. So I want something really thick. I don't want a lot of water. It's kind of purple. All right, let's hope that works.
Actually, not that purple anymore.
All right, so what do you think?
Yeah. I think it's good. The sound of a brush going.
It's kind of fun. Ah, shoot. I hate it when I accidentally go above the line. It's okay. This is just a quick tutorial. All right. What do you think? How's my Farmington Pond?
Good.
Yeah? Let's take a look at both of them. Oops.
There's that one. And that one.
Oh, not too bad for a few minutes.
Yeah.